Hello and welcome to another This Week in Anthem. This weekend saw the open demo, new merch, and sets us up as we move into the launch of Anthem, in only 2 weeks for those with early access. The open demo has been and gone, giving everyone a chance to try out Anthem for themselves, though it's not been without its issues. Our surprise for the end of this demo was the start of a small cataclysm that added a nice storm to the sky and some ash titans to the environment. This includes our first in-game look at the ancient Ash Titan, the big boy version of the others we've seen in the missions of the demo, with vastly more health but near identical move patterns. The main difference being the addition of a chest firebeam that does huge damage and the addition of a phase. Once the ancient versions get below 50% health, they go into an enraged state, activating all of their abilities back to back, meaning 2 or 3 can be active at one point, which can get pretty hectic. However, personally I found them a little underwhelming. When using the storm I was able to take one down on my own on hard without worrying about being hit. The only real threat was that of the firebeam, which can almost one-shot any javelin, but as long as you don't stand right in the way, it's pretty easy to avoid. In groups they're scary, but one by themselves, even an ancient one, isn't very threatening. Their almost complete lack of anti-air makes them very easy to avoid in the open, especially for the storm who can just hover with impunity. Along with the demo weekend, we saw the tease of a second set of merch for Anthem, this time coming from Jinx. Their t-shirts highlight the javelins themselves in a penciled outline that reminds me of a lot of a car manual, a vast contrast to the Bioware official merch. Knowing Jinx, we'll likely be seeing more of these in the coming weeks. In addition to these, we also had the reason behind one of the in-demo bugs revealed and possibly solved. You may have noticed in free play that some enemies would just vanish in the middle of a fight or before you could engage them. Even being at different ranges might make them phase in and out. Well, this is due to a performance enhancing system that they have in place, where the server will try to prioritize creatures you are in combat with, and phase out others to improve performance. What this accidentally resulted in was one of an overextension of the phasing weighted heavily for performance. For the most part, this was just odd and immersion breaking, but when you're fighting an ancient Ash Titan and it disappears out of existence on the last 20%, it becomes somewhat frustrating. On the plus side of this, we have drastic improvements when it comes to the loading screen bugs. For me, once I ran a repair on the Anthem client, I didn't have this bug once, rather than 90% of the loading screens. This also came with a repair to the server lag. Though it does still exist, it's far less frequent. These set Anthem up to be in a much better position than it was in the VIP demo, which we can all agree was rather underwhelming. These should already be carried over into the full launch version of the game, along with many smaller technical improvements. We are now in the final stretch, many of us only weeks away from launch. As has been the case for this channel for the last few years, I'll be deep diving on the lore and the hidden stories Anthem has to tell. I'm working on some as we lead into the launch and rounding off the pre-launch part of the basic series. I'm going to have literally tens if not hundreds of hours of footage once launch hits, so I've got a question for you. What aspect of the lore would you like to see tackled first? This will allow me to prioritize which stories to tell first. I plan on doing these much in the style of Lore Watch, in addition to continuing Anthem updates, gameplay and loadouts as we move past launch. So what intrigues you the most about Anthem's lore? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching This Week in Anthem. As always, you can see the links to everything discussed below. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like or a dislike if you prefer. You can support the channel by subscribing and using the bell to be notified of future content as it goes live. Until next time, I've been Dante, thanks for watching.